Scott Disick had Kardashian fans cracking up with his latest fashion choice. Kourtney Kardashian's ex was accused of inflating his own ego. On the most recent episode of The Kardashians, momager Kris Jenner and daughter Khloe attempted to play matchmaker for the 40-year-old. The mother-daughter duo whittled down the results before settling on a nice Jewish woman named Celine. After the date, Kris confronted Scott, wondering how it went. As Scott recalled the meetup, fans started to notice one interesting detail about his casual look. It turned out, the talentless clothing designer was wearing a large graphic T-shirt of himself. The black shirt featured several pictures of his face, including a close-up of a serious Scott. Other graphics on the shirt portrayed the reality star as a real baller, walking down a street in a sharp white suit as private planes and gold watches hovered around him. His full name was splashed in big, red letters across the top, in case anyone was doubtful about who he was. In an online chat room, fans mocked Scott's self-serving style. "What the F***K is he wearing?" One person slammed. "Scott, you're 40, not 14, give it up." Another echoed, "He's wearing a Scott Disick t-shirt." "What a douche. I roll to infinity." As a third lampooned, "Nice fashion wearing a shirt with his own face on it, like he got it off the Wildwood Boardwalk in 1999. While a fourth asks, "I just want to know why they all wear these tacky shirts with themselves on it. I can't imagine someone is making these for the public to wear." Kris call out, "As for the date, well, it looks like it was one and done." Which is probably fine with Scott, since many fans think he has a major crush on a Kardashian sister. And it's not his ex, Kourtney. Scott has been accused of making sexual and inappropriate comments to Khloe, which some fans believe is a form of him flirting with the 39-year-old. Even Kris called him out in the same episode, confirming the crush. As the three reality stars went looking for love, Scott admitted that he was lonely all the time. Kris then asks, "Scott, do you go anywhere to meet anybody?" Scott jokingly replied, "Strip clubs." Unimpressed, Kris tried to get Scott to open up about what he looks for in a potential love interest. "If you had the opportunity to meet the perfect girl, what does that look like on paper?" asked Kris. Scott then looked over at Khloe with a smirk and said, "I don't know, how tall are you?" while pointing in her direction. Khloe then looked away and said coyly, "This guy," as Scott laughed loudly. The scene then cuts to Kris in a confessional saying, "I think Scott probably does have a crush on Khloe." She continued, "Listen, I have a crush on Khloe. Everyone has a crush on Khloe. The cameramen all have a crush on Khloe." Kris then concluded the segment, "If we could just find somebody close to Khloe." MRI opener, it wasn't the first time Scott has been slammed for sexual comments he made toward Khloe. Kourtney Kardashian's ex and baby daddy made an awkward joke on the October 12 episode of The Kardashians. Khloe went with Scott to the doctor to get his MRI results back due to major back pain after the star was in a terrifying car accident. While he lay on his stomach so the physical therapist could take a look at his back, he asked him what he liked to do for fun before his accident. "Sex, but now I can't move, so I am terrible," Scott said bluntly. "So, isn't that motivation to fix your back?" Khloe asks. "Get back on the wagon to F***K. No motion for me, so that's motivation," Scott replied. "You are actually deteriorating before our eyes and I am not gonna let this happen," the Good American co-founder said. Later in the show, the pair stood in the parking garage. Scott said, "My 40th birthday maybe, me and you." "Me and you what?" Khloe asks. Scott laughed, seemingly implying his back would be better by his birthday, so he wanted to have sex with Khloe on his 40th birthday.